I just don't understand why you're so offended by me being here. Go away. Don't you have something to do or a queen to defeat or something? I just came to ask, can you review my series for your channel? Why would I review Sailor Moon for my channel? I had to have watched Sailor Moon first, and we all know that didn't happen. What? That's a lie. You used to watch Sailor Moon almost as much as Dragon Ball Z, and you even watch my reboot series now, Sailor Moon Crystal. You speak lies. Why would I even consider watching your show? It's for what? Girls? Tyrone, I'm surprised at you, especially out of all of the anime that you've watched over the past years. People have come out of the closet. People have gone to anime conventions to express their love for anime. And people have embraced themselves for who they are. And you can't embrace yourself for loving my series just because it was meant for a female audience. Now, you should look inside of yourself, be mature, and tell how you really feel about a series that you watch just as much as your beloved Dragon Ball Z. Usagi, you're right. I apologize. Fine. I'll review your series. And to make up for hiding my love for Sailor Moon, I'll do multiple videos of your series. Thank you. If Dragon Ball Z is considered most as the king of animes, then Sailor Moon I can safely say earns the title of queen. But before we start with the meat and potatoes of this review, we gotta do a brief history lesson. Back in the early 90s, anime was getting more popularized in the West thanks to such hits as Gundam, Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh! And several others. Anime culture was beginning to spread, however there was one glaring issue. Anime, while gaining a large audience in America, was showing to appeal mostly to the young male demographic, meaning only boys found interest in anime. Enter Sailor Moon, a manga series written by the wife of the guy who made Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter. Her name is Naoko Takeuchi, and her work would later be transformed into the female-empowered feminine series known as Sailor Moon, the anime series. As a kid, much like any other, I started my anime love with Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, Yu-Gi-Oh! And several others. But I would be lying if I didn't say that Sailor Moon put in just as much effort to pull me into the anime culture as the rest did. When I started watching Dragon Ball Z as a kid, it came on Toonami, and I watched it every day after school religiously. However, to ensure that I didn't miss a single episode, I'd turn on the TV 30 minutes before Dragon Ball Z started, making sure I didn't miss it. This meant whatever show was on before Dragon Ball Z was also the show I engaged in, which brings us to Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon is known to almost everyone as the flashy, action-packed Sentai of the 90s. Now, before you misinterpret what I said, I did not say hentai. Get your mouse cursor away from Google. I said Sentai, a genre of anime consisting of flashy poses and over-the-top, color-coordinated superheroes that work together to defeat an evil. If you need an example of this, look no further than America's own Power Rangers. Hell, even Dragon Ball Z parodies this style with the making of the Ginyu Force. So Sentai was a well-known art form. So what does that say about Sailor Moon? Is it flashy, cheesy, over the top? Well, the answer is yes and no. Sailor Moon as an anime is very patterned, like usually solving a lot of its larger conflicts using love, the power of friendship, and will, yada yada yada. But something about this combined with the drama and daily life of teenage schoolgirls seemed to draw the audience members in. Let's give a brief summary to get you up to speed. Now, I won't be revealing a lot of spoilers in this summary, and I'm basically just doing the overlay of Sailor Moon to get you all a clue as to what you're getting into but when you watch this series. Sailor Moon revolves around a teenage girl named Usagi, aka Serena if you're watching the dubbed version. Usagi accidentally runs into a magic wand that was given to her by a cat from the moon known as Luna. Luna gave Usagi this wand because she could sense that Usagi had the same power in her that the Queen of the Moon had before the Moon Kingdom faced great destruction at the hands of darkness led by Queen Beryl. Usagi is scared at first but embraces the power and transforms into the iconic alter ego superhero Sailor Moon, defending the innocent and fighting for peace and love. Pretty straightforward, at least as far as the anime goes. Later on in the series, Usagi is joined by several other teenage girls that fight with her and form the Sailor Scouts. These girls consist of, and I'm sorry if I botched some of their Japanese names, but there's Ami Mizuno, aka Ami in the English version, known as Sailor Mercury, Rei Hino, just known as Rei in the English version, as Sailor Mars, Makoto Kino, or Lita, Sailor Jupiter, Minako Anio as Mina, also known as Sailor Venus, Michiru Kaio as Michelle, Sailor Neptune, Hakura Tenno as Amura as Sailor Uranus, Setsuna Meo Trista as Sailor Pluto, Hataro Tamayomi as Hataro in Sailor Saturn, Chibiusa Tsukino as Rini and also known as Sailor Mini Moon or Chibi Moon. And then there are also the mysterious male sidekick known as Tuxedo Mask, also known as Mamoru, aka Darien in the dub. I know that's supposed to be a secret, but once you start watching the series, it's pretty obvious. Now, you may be asking, Tyrone, other than watching it before Dragon Ball Z, why do you know so much about Sailor Moon? Well, it's because at first, like any other boy watching Sailor Moon at the time, looking at the series with great gender bias and distaste. However, I continued to watch the show. Something about the show just sort of pulled me in. I can't quite put my finger around it. Anyway, I had to hide my love for Sailor Moon because it was a feminizing show, and it was obviously targeted towards girls. So if I was ever caught watching this series, I'd be the laughing stock of the playground. It wasn't until I graduated high school and started going to anime conventions that I saw other males who embraced a love for Sailor Moon. And just like that, Sailor Moon was back into my heart. For my thoughts on the show, I will say this. Sailor Moon on its own looks rather routinely, almost to the point where each episode has a pattern you can spot the second the episode came on. If you ask me one thing that makes the show stick out, it's the characters. They all follow some cliche but are very well developed. Each episode does a great job of focusing on each of these characters and who they are, even if they're sometimes one-dimensional at times. Sailor Moon Crystal would go as far to expand them later, but I think I may do a separate video on that. But the kicker here has to be Usagi. She's the main character, yet her social life, she is not the smartest, athletic, or even the hottest. However, with her ditziness, wackiness, and sometimes bratty character, makes her the most appealing when you consider how important she is as a Sailor Scout and as a friend. She keeps the group together with her charm, and I respect that. The villains in the series don't have much depth to them, and they're all short-lived, at least until later on in the series. But Queen Beryl is a noteworthy villain, mostly because of her cringy yet memorable voice in the dub. Now, going into whether you should watch Sailor Moon, I do highly recommend it. I feel it's a nice series to unwind on. However, if you feel the series is a bit dated, with it being an early 90s anime, have no fear, because Sailor Moon got a reboot known as Sailor Moon Crystal, which I'm currently watching now, but I'm not caught up on at the time of this video, but I highly recommend it. Like I said, I may review this in the future, but in the meantime, I give this show a watch, unless flashiness isn't your thing and formulaic series aren't your thing as well. The show is a bit formalized, but it's meant to be that way. So I would enjoy the ride. But with that said, have a great day, everybody. See you all then, everybody. Tyrone the God 3, out.